Ellen McCauley. I'm a grade off in Syracuse, New York. And tonight we're going to start out the meeting because those of us who need to lose weight, we feel less than. We feel that our lives would only be better if we were at that goal weight. If only I weighed 168, I would be good. I'd be happy. I'd be where I'm supposed to be. And so we hold off on a lot of our accepting ourselves and loving ourselves because we always are living in this state of not good enough. And I told you, and I even mentioned to someone tonight, how complimentary people were at my college reunion. And they're like, oh, you look better now than you did in college. You look so great. You look so beautiful, blah, blah. I'm thinking, but I'm not at my goal weight. I wanted to say to them, well, wait, I still have more weight to lose. But they didn't want to say that. They didn't say that. Why can't we see ourselves? Nina, they said, Nina, you have such a beautiful smile. And this is one of the things I hate when people would say, you've got such a pretty face as compared to your fat body, which isn't so great, you know? I hate it when people would say that. You have such a pretty face. What about the rest of me? That's not pretty? Wow. So try not to say that to anyone. Just say you're beautiful, period. Dot H. So I feel that we need to give ourselves unconditional love because that is the kind of love that God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, gives us. And you know what else? We're all we got. Us. I told this before. I try to get rid of myself. I walk down the street really fast and there I am. I can't get away from myself because I am myself. You are yourself. And if you're not going to love yourself, well, who is? Yeah, do we want to be better? Do we want to, make sure we can improve upon ourselves? There's nothing wrong with that. But holding back our own love by saying, I love myself more if I weighed 168. Wouldn't I still be Ellen McCauley at 168? My love for myself has to be embroiled in this life, which is so beautiful. People are still talking about our 50th college reunion. We had a debrief session, and the staff members from Lemoyne were on a Zoom call with me today. We were on an hour call because I was on the committee. And they're like, we've never seen a better one. We've never seen a better, more attended, more joyous 50 golden reunion. And they go, what is the secret? And everyone was quiet for a while, so I said, we're just so happy to be alive and kicking. And everyone started laughing, but they agreed. How wonderful to be at the 50th. How wonderful. That is how we have to look at life. I might not be at my goal weight, but how wonderful that I'm alive. How wonderful that I can get to pray it out under my own steam and see these people that I love here. How wonderful. That's what we have to look at. We need to accept ourselves as we are in the present moment and choose to feel good. I kind of pushed myself. I took like almost 7 weeks off from the gym. And then I had a procedure on April 1st. And they said to wait 5-6 weeks, so I waited 5. And so I'm back, and it really kind of hurts. My back hurts, my hip hurts, and I'm like, well, it hurt when I didn't do anything. It hurts when I do something. I'm older, maybe it's just gonna hurt. I am gonna try a few other things, but does that mean I wasn't gonna come to pray it off? Does that mean I was gonna say, well, I don't feel 100% tonight, so I'm just gonna lay on the couch? No, we choose to feel good. I still feel good. I got a couple aches and pains, but I feel good. We hold the power on how we look at life and how we feel about life. We choose to feel good about everything we eat. Somebody was telling me they made a choice for lunch today, and it was very high in calories, and they hadn't had that choice in a long time, and they thought they'd really like it. But they were so tormented by saying to themselves in their mind over and over again, I really shouldn't have gotten this, I really shouldn't have gotten this, I really don't need this, it's Wednesday, I gotta weigh in later, what am I, crazy? That they didn't even really enjoy it. Does that ever happen to you where you say, I want this, and then as you're eating it, you're like, why am I eating this? I didn't like it. We need to say, I want, like I have, and I told you this Thursday night, we have the most beautiful salad. Sometimes I have chicken on it, sometimes I have tuna on it. Tonight I have this beautiful piece of salmon, which I can't get enough of salmon, and I can't wait to eat it. I feel good about myself, it's delicious. We need to feel good about ourselves when we look in the mirror. Are we Gina, Lola, Brigida? Maybe not. But we're all we got. We're all we have. So maybe you're a little shorter than you want to be. Maybe you're a little chunkier than you want to be. But you're beautiful. I will go around the room and tell each and every one of you how beautiful, how wonderful you are, because you are. Also, if you can name all the things you like about your physical self. You know, I could certainly say, well, my hair's kind of thin. Who wants to hear that? What I can say is, wow, I'm pretty bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. My eyes are big. I had cataract surgery. I have 20/20 vision. I took care of my teeth. These are all my teeth. Praise God. Thank you for my teeth. I have a big smile because I like smiling. I like my skin. I put a lot of nice cream on it. I feel like I'm strong enough to do everything I need to do in life. I like these things about me physically. As far as my personality goes, I'm outgoing, I'm reliable. If I say I'm going to do something, you can take it to the bank and cash it because I will do it. So I want you to think about yourself. What do you like about the way you look? What do you like about the way you are? Because if you can't, I can say good things about yourself. We need to enjoy our food because it sustains us. It's not a hobby. It still can taste very good, don't get me wrong, but we need to have positive thoughts on our food. And here's something else. It says in this article, stay off the scale. And I can't say enough about that. Our weight does not define who we are as people. Our weight is something that we're working on. It's something that we'd like less of or to maintain. But being fixated on it isn't living a good life. Weigh in once a week here at Randolph during the summer. If you want to weigh in buck naked on Thursday morning and write it on your sheet, go ahead. You have my permission to do that, but if you're buck naked, don't take 2 pounds off, okay? You don't get that. But if you're weighing yourself all the time, I told you that time I went to the gym and somebody got on the exercise bike and rode the bike for a few minutes, got off, went over to the scale. Then they went over to this one lifting machine, was lifting it, got off, went over, got on the scale. I'm like, does she think she's gonna lose a pound for every exercise she does? I didn't know what she was trying to achieve. Bob was there that time. We still laugh about it. Also, remember, weight loss is not about managing food, but managing your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings around food. And we're going to still talk a little bit more about what self-love truly means. Because some of you, and I'm not going to name names, really need to work on your self-love. You can't even take a compliment. If I said to certain people in this room, you look so nice tonight, I really don't. But thanks for saying it, I guess. Really? Can't you just say, thank you? And I have to teach some people. I say, there's 2 words, everybody, 2 words. Thank you. Thank you. If someone gives you a compliment, thank you. Now, some of you might have a trauma in your childhood, different relationships. Maybe you're a little unhappy about something in your life. Either you do something about it, or you find other avenues that make you happy. Because sometimes dwelling on our unhappiness will affect our self-love. Also, you know, we talk about our weaknesses. You know, one of my body's weaknesses is it doesn't need a lot of food to survive. It just doesn't. You know, it doesn't. So that's, but I'm not on any medication. So you might say, well, Ellen, let's see. You're really struggling to take that last 30 pounds off, but you're not on any medications, and there's nothing wrong, but you got some back and hip pain. That's a pretty good trade-off. Sometimes you gotta trade off. You gotta say, well, you know, I can't lose that final 10 pounds, but I'm pretty darn healthy. Sometimes we just have to be resilient. Also, we need, the benefits of self-love is lower stress and higher resilience. One of the things that was giving me stress lately is, I told you our basement flooded and we're going through things, and you might say, isn't that done? No, it's not done. And when you have a lifetime of bins, it's gonna take a while. And so now I've given myself 2 hours a day. I go down there for 2 hours. Like yesterday, I filled 3 flea market bins and 2 keep bins. And you might say, did you really need that stuff in the keep bins, Ellen? And the thing is, if I do that next year, I will go through the keep bins, and maybe I won't keep everything I'm keeping now. But a lot of them are presents, because I buy a lot of presents ahead of time. Also, the willingness to take good risk. You know, when I was at my college reunion, everyone kept begging me to sing, because I used to sing a lot when I was in college, and I really didn't want to. Really didn't want to. But I figured, oh, what the heck, I might as well. And it was a lot of fun, and I got a standing ovation, everyone really liked it. So sometimes you just have to take a risk. And like Saturday night, I was the lector for the Memorial Day Mass. So Father Mano comes up to me, right, literally before Mass, and says, oh, Ellen, yeah, we're not doing the readings that you might have practiced that are in the book. We're doing these 2 readings, and here they are here, and I'm like, what? Now, you have to understand, I practice for a week, every day. I read them to Bob. I practically memorize them. I say them over and over and over again. So then I had this panic look on my face. I go, Father, I haven't even practiced that. I haven't even read them through. And he takes my arm and he goes, I'm not one bit worried, Ellen. I'm not one bit worried. And I thought, well, if Father Mano's not one bit worried, and I just, you know, all through the Gloria, I was mouthing the Gloria, but I was practicing the readings, you know. But it went well. It went well, you know. Sometimes you got to take the risk. Empathy. When you love yourself and help others, you have so much more compassion. Like, I was joking about that person I met, but I have compassion because a lot of people don't see themselves. There are people who wear like a size 12 and they're actually a size 16. And I think, do they see themselves that they can't quite zipper up those pants and that there's quite a few rolls? And that's another reason why I feel good, because I try to dress appropriately. I don't wear tucked in things. I don't think I look good with tucked in things. I want it covering up any kind of extra, you know, things. So, self-efficacy. When you see other people succeed, are you jealous, or do you want to do that yourself? You think, whoa, wow, they're getting their 30-pound award? I'm going to try it. Maybe I can get mine. Or you say, I hate their guts. They don't have my life. They're not working as hard as me. Oh, I can't stand that. No, you have to look at them and say, that too could be me. Also, here's 10 signs of a lack of self-love. Setting boundaries. I've gotten so much better at 71 with setting boundaries than I was when I was younger. Now it's easier for me to say, no, I want to do that really badly, but I'm not going to. And you got to stick to it. All right, perfectionism, that's big for me. Avoidance of self-care and neglect of personal needs. You really need to take showers, to brush your teeth, to do those basic things. If you have a friend going down the tubes, that's a bad sign. If they had good hygiene, it's either a sign of early dementia, or depression. So keep a lookout for people. Difficulty saying no and overcommitting. Negative self-talk. A lot of that in this group. And here's something else, seeking external validation. This used to be huge for me. I wouldn't think I ever did a good job at anything unless someone else told me I did. Now I'm trying to find my own validation myself. I want to say, Ellen, you didn't get a chance to practice for a week, but you did a really good job with those readings Saturday night. I'm proud of you, Ellen. What's so bad about doing that? Being proud of yourself for something you might accomplish. I know last week Ann got her 10-pound reward, and she said to me, I'm proud of myself. I came back and I did it. There's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself for working hard and doing well. So let's try to look in the mirror and not self-sabotage ourselves, not constantly feel inadequate, especially if we've been on a little bit of a weight yo-yo, up 3, down 4, up 5, down 6, whatever. That isn't really a healthy way to look at it. If you're going to have extras, try to have it on a Thursday night and say to yourself, I really need to have something extra, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till Thursday night. If you're not saying you can't have it, you're just going to delay, okay? And then ways to practice self-love is really know yourself. Some people don't know themselves. They think they're one way, and I'm like, whoa. And I try to be have introspection and say, am I really, I even say to Bob sometimes, do you think I'm a selfish person? He's like, no, I don't. And I said, I don't want to be selfish. Because we knew a couple of really selfish people in our lives, and I didn't think that was a good way to be in life. Also, build self-care routines. It's very important. That's very important to put on some makeup. I mean, wear some jewelry, look good. Have people say, whoa, you're looking good. Nothing's wrong with it. Fish for compliments. It's so funny because we did a lot of home remodeling, and I had a lot of company. So I expected them to come in and go, oh my gosh, this looks fantastic. Oh, I love it. So they didn't say anything. So I'm like, oh, well, how do you like what we did to the family room? And this one guy who's been at my house a million times, he goes, oh, it looks kind of the same. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look the same. It's completely different. But I'm like, oh, huh. And sometimes you can fish for compliments and still not get any, so stop fishing. If that happens, stop fishing. Also, prioritize your self-compassion. You must forgive yourself for your past mistakes. It's so important. I can't say it enough. It's something I worked on, I'm working on it, and I highly recommend it. Have positive self-talk and affirmations. You say, I can do this. I didn't set the world on fire for session 35, but I'm going to be a summer hero, and I'm going to lose weight in session 36. Just already say it. Embrace your uniqueness. There's only one of you. There's only one of me. We are unique. Let's embrace it. Gratitude for this body. It's not as fit as we want it to be, but it's our body. Also, healthy boundaries, making sure that we take care of our sleep. Also, forgive ourselves and be gentle with